Okay, we are live, everybody. My name is Bahzad.
My name is Risa.
And we are here streaming live from Yokohama, Japan to bring to you the world's greatest live stream, the Wonder Looper live stream, where we're going to talk to you guys about all the good things about Wonder Looper and probably a few other things. You never know. You guys can get me riled up in a second. Sorry for the delay. A little bit of a technical difficulty. The internet gods were not cooperating, but we whipped them into shape, and hopefully they will behave for the duration of the live stream. So here's a warning to you, internet people. Stay in check, or else.
Is that saying we're unable to?
Wait, I'm just going to refresh the screen here, because I think the chat is not loading. And so, let's see here. There we go. Now it's all fixed. Okay, perfect. We're set. Everybody, let us know where you're tuning in from, and let us know what you guys are wearing today. We're going to get into our fit checks in just a minute. First, we're going to check in to see where you guys are tuning in from all around the world. We've got the producer is in the house. It says, good evening from rainy, then snowy Southern Ontario. Elephant 12 Sumi double heavyweight tee and a 701 GSM OG khaki green hoodie. Staying warm in that Southern Ontario weather. It's very cold out there right now.
Yeah.
It's not terribly cold out here in Japan right now.
But tomorrow it's supposed to be there were some talks about snow for tomorrow, so I don't know.
It's for me, no problem.
Yeah, but it's not fun. It's gonna be like rain/snow, so it will be like a wet snow.
When it snows in a place where it doesn't normally snow, chaos tends to ensue. So I guess I'm not gonna enjoy some of the chaos, but I'm not leaving the house. We got the Royal Rumble to watch. All right.
95%
chance of snow. All right. Well,
rain, I guess.
Let it snow. Let it snow. Let it snow. Arif, good to see you. Hello from the Windy City, Chicago. He's got a hi from the Windy City of Chicago. Wonder Looper tuxedo instead of denim tuxedo equals full baby cashmere outfit. Sounds like my kind of outfit. Melody Murray, hello from Tucson. Fit check, naked and famous undyed Frankenstein, and my blue Super Looper French Terry. We're matching today. Good to see that. Colin Cronenberg, naked and famous Oxford cloth button down with some wool trousers. Haven't made it home yet, and I don't wear scrubs anymore to work, so I can't wear my jeans underneath anymore. C'est dommage, c'est dommage. Arif, looking forward to the Marigold Super Looper. That's right. It's coming very soon. We're going to talk about the Super Looper releases in just a few moments. Stephen Kopelkamp, I'm getting so many sweatshorts. Excellent. Well, we've got lots to provide to you. Sullivan says, if there's PC issues, you could try on your phone. Anyhow, it's all fixed now. DC is in the house, and we've got Mr. Sanchez Ola from Los Angeles. We've got Paul from San Antonio, and George checking in from Kyoto, the old capital of Japan. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, Ohio gozaimasu. Ask Minister, excited to see the updates. Well, thank you very much. PBMC is hello from Maryland. We've got Michael Howdy from San Antonio. Dean, hello from Atlanta. Lucky on three legs, hello from Houston. We got a lot of Texas in the house. Good to see that. Asks, says, evening from London. Chris Diaz, hello from Colorado. Nick Viplu, good to see you, my friend. I recommend getting Hikari. Nothing beats fiber internet coming right out of the wall.
Well, we used to have Hikari, but it wasn't.
Yeah, our building is old and isn't wired for all the best internet, unfortunately. But I hear you. Believe me, I hear you. Devin Hurt, Wonder Looper essential towels? What do you think?
I like towels. I like the idea of making towels, but I don't know. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
I think.
When a brand is big enough, then they introduce a home collection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyhow, just it's on the way.
Yeah. We have to conquer the sweat
world first.
Yeah.
Then we'll conquer the home world.
Yeah. And then we're gonna conquer
space, aerospace division, knitwear for space exploration and travel. You know, when you're trying to make it out of this solar system, you want to be comfortable, right? So we got to make the sweat for the space explorers, space tourists of tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So we'll work on that.
You know, a comfortable T-shirt to wear underneath your space suit,
or a T-shirt that acts also as a space suit. Comfortable, but protects you from the dangerous exposures of deep space.
I think spacesuit need to be like a sweatshirt rather than a T-shirt. Because I mean,
hey, we'll figure it out. The technology, we're gonna figure it all out. It's out there. But yes, it's coming, guys. Chun, yip, so good to see you, my friend. What's up from New York City? Wearing my foxfibre hoodie today. I hope it's keeping you warm. I'm sure it's very cold out there. Kevin Heenan, thanks for joining us. Micah says San Francisco's in the house. OG Tracks, hello from Michigan. Also rainy, then snowy. Ooh, stay warm. And we've got Hunter, hello from Toronto. Good to see you. Michaelson, hello from Charleston, South Carolina. Snowed for the first time since 2018 here last week. Wow. And is sunny and warm around 70 Fahrenheit today. There you go.
That's weird.
Got my foxfibre Suriyami tee on. A bit too hot for a hoodie today. Well, it's good to hear it's a little too hot somewhere.
You
in the
have
world.
Like a snow and then you go to that? That's weird.
It can happen. It's like in southern Ontario, you know, Montreal area, right around April. Right around the end of April, Mother Nature shows her true power and just dumps an incredible amount of snow on you. Mm-hmm. Just as like one last hurrah for the winter. It's like, remember, I'm still in charge.
Yes.
Boom, she nails you. And then 2 days later, the sun comes out and melts it all away. It always happens.
Yes, but it wouldn't be 70 degrees.
Maybe
it
not.
feels like that because you came out of
a
frozen land. But
but that's definitely a feeling that happens in Ontario. That pesky Mother Nature. She always we must defeat her.
Yeah, that's how I feel about March in Japan, in Tokyo. It's like March. It's just like, we're almost there. It's March. It's supposed to be spring, and then like, you know, just like a cold day. Like usually, like if it snows, it's usually like February or March.
Right.
Like it tends to be like the end of spring.
I see. Well, anyhow, I'm glad it's warm out there for some of you. JF says Wonderlooper 100% cashmere double heavyweight loungewear robe.
Robe.
A double heavyweight cashmere robe.
That's gonna cost
a couple bucks.
Yes.
Yeah, you know when
the beauty of cashmere also is the lightweightness.
Yeah.
So when you
we'll get there.
Heavyweight cashmere.
Okay. Do we need to worry about breathability in space?
That's not our concern, really.
We'll look. That's for the helmet, maker. Maybe we'll have a division that also develops all that. Who knows? On the way to becoming the world's.
Yeah, but I think he meant breathability of
the T-shirt.
I mean, because we're not really.
It's cold out there.
Getting away from cotton. Cotton is
key.
Key. Yeah.
And in our space program, I mean, we're going to have to develop farms on other lands, other planets. So we're going to bring the cotton seeds with us on these ships so that we can grow. Maybe we'll have a cotton planet where we're just growing, just beautiful conditions for cotton growing.
Maybe Earth will be that.
Earth is pretty good for it, but there might be just an ultimate perfect planet out there that is just the right temperature, the right coolness, everything all the time.
Yeah, no bugs.
Well, maybe the bugs there, whatever
Or
kind of
no
creatures
pests,
they
I guess.
are, they get some sort of like fulfillment from, like preparing and producing on all the cotton and pollinating things. So it's just like a perfect environment where we bring them the thing that they like, which is cotton, and then they produce it for us. Just to be great. All right.
They'll eat the unnecessary parts of cotton and bring us the necessary parts of cotton.
We're gonna find it. We're gonna find it. All right. Well, there you go, everybody. Now to do our fit checks ourselves. I've got the Super Looper. This is the original blue Super Looper. Super Looper Suriyami sweatshirt. In the pullover. I don't know why I'm getting confused. It's still early. I've got my Wonder Looper Toronto pin. Naked and Famous Dirty Fade. True Guys. Fading quite nicely, I have to say. I've got my Timex Flicks in my matching blue color. And some shearling slides from Yucatan. Keeping me warm. And your turn.
Yeah, I didn't really wear anything special for this, but
this is special.
But I did pick up a new Super Looper color. I know a guy, so I get a first
deal.
So, Sumi Black Super Looper pullover hoodie. It is very nice. I don't necessarily always like black clothing because, cat hairs. But I just couldn't resist. I got the Ultimate Pima t-shirt underneath.
Me too.
And I got my cargo pants. And, nothing else really. Sorry. I didn't.
All right. Well, hey, it's nice. It's a nice, cozy home fit.
Yeah, well. We don't always do fit checks. So
we
I
don't
never really think about it.
Yeah. Richard Gall says, one from Pittsburgh, PA, wearing heather gray tee. There you go. Richard Gall. And maybe I'm misremembering this. Somebody's going to tell me the answer. But is that the name of the detective from Hackers? Maybe you guys tell me. Is that a reference, or is that your real name, and or am I confusing it somehow? Let me know. What was the detective's name in the movie Hackers?
That's a question.
That's a question for the audience. Devin Hurt says, the Ontario April snow is always my favorite. All the flowers and other pops of color peeking through the snow. You know what else? Anyway, that's the other problem with the April thaw out. Like you get an April thaw, you get an April snow, and then by the time May comes around, it's generally pretty good spring in Ontario. But also all the leaves and debris and stuff garbage, animal stuff, left underneath the snow that was just under there for months, and then when that thaws out, sort of that spring musk that's in the air. Yeah,
that was my first experience in living in Montreal. I moved I think in December, and there were some parts of the road that was still not covered, and there was a patch in front of the apartment that was not covered in snow yet, and there was an animal present left there. And then in April, it thawed, and that was still there, and I was like, that's amazing. It just frozen for 5 months.
Sorry, I have to find the answer to that question.
Why didn't nobody?
Somebody will find it. Anyhow,
you're not going to deep dive.
I'm not going to deep dive it now. Okay. Well, Andrew, good to see you. It's been a while. He says, hi, everyone. Haven't been able to catch a live for a while. Hope you all been doing well. Well, we've been doing well, and we're glad to see you here again. Hunter says, hi, super excited about your spring restock. However, due to your popularity, is there any chance of increasing the production of foxfibre and Ultimate Pima? Wanted to replace all my shirts to Wonder Looper.
We have been. Each time we dropped those things, we have been increasing it. I think the demand has increased as well. So, but you know, last time we launched those t-shirts, you know, it lasted longer than the first drop.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, if I you know, we try, but there's only so much. It's especially like those Tsuriyami t-shirts, like we can't make a lot very quickly. So even though we've been like, you know, working on it for a while, it's not gonna be like insane amount of, you know, mass production or anything like that. So it's there's gonna be like, you know, a little bit of limitation in production, but well, I think next drop we have a lot. It's not gonna sell out in like minutes or anything like that. So I don't think it will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, you know, in the more recent past, like, you know, we have made a lot more, and I think we are seeing that, like, yes, it's popular. Yeah, sometimes the sizes sell out, but it would not sell out like, you know, some sort of like sought after, you know, sneaker drop or anything like that. Yeah.
We've definitely been getting better at keeping inventory in stock, you know, increasing our production levels. I would say that by and large, if you're around at release time, you're going to get it. I think our major struggle is, you know, I would say, you know, you look at a Hanes or a big brand, you know, you go on their website, they're going to have that t-shirt in stock all the time. Mm-hmm. Now, we're not quite there yet. Mm-hmm. Where we would like to be. Part of our you know, growth strategy right now is getting a bigger workplace. We need more room. Like our current warehouse situation is you know, it's fine for the time being, but it is not going to be able to handle this growth. Mm-hmm. So,
and the thing is, like, a part of the limitation, like I said, is with the slowness of fabric production, but at the same time, like the like, you know, we have to predict the demand for, especially for those special cottons, like, you know, foxfibre, ultimate pima, stuff like that. Like we had to, you know, like kind of predict how much we're gonna use so that they can, you know, they are ready for it, because, you know, we can't just like, oh, we want to make this many t-shirts, you know, 6 months down the line, and there's magically cotton, you know, saved for us. It's not necessarily like that, especially with the high demand for foxfibre these days. So, you know, we try, but we also cannot, you know, extend too much, because, you know, we can't just be like, oh, I want it all, and we can't pay for it, or something like that. So,
right. So, yeah. Anyhow, it's all gonna work itself out as we grow. Yeah, I would really like to get to the point where certain products are just consistently always in stock. Mm-hmm. And you know, I think part of it is like, you know, where I would say where we came from. You know, we had a reasonable expectation of like, this is how many sweatshirts we sell, this is how many hoodies we sell. This, so, you know, we sort of based it off of previous experience. Things grew, demand grew. We sort of guesstimate, mm-hmm. you know, how much more you think you might need, and it grows from there. Mm-hmm. And it just, you know, everything has kept snowballing. I would say it's a good problem to have, mm-hmm. that you know, the demand continues to grow for us. And, you know, we're going to keep trying our best to keep up with it. We certainly don't want to create a situation where, you know, it's always like a frenzy to get something, right? Right. You know, it's I would say on our end, it's nice to sell out, but I also, you know, what happens to us is like we bring in stock and something sells out, and then, you know, we're kind of empty-handed for a couple of months.
Yeah. And no, we don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Right.
So, anyhow, it's all coming, and I would say, you know, thanks to the, you know, we got a lot of great word of mouth being spread, and you know, I wanted to bring up some word of mouth that was spread about us, because our good friend Nick over at Stridewise did a little Instagram short the other day where he made his perfect capsule wardrobe I always wanted to write an article about this, like how to build like just a great minimal wardrobe. And Nick over here, I guess he beat me to it. That being said, there's room for more than one list. But anyhow, he mentions Wonderlooper long sleeve T-shirt in this one, and he's got a very significant audience, and that also helps bring and attract new people to the brand. So it's not just our little group here is wonderful and fantastic, but a lot of people come and find us through a lot of different ways, and thankfully people like Nick help spread the word, and it may be because of things like this that things are selling out a little bit faster than we anticipate one level, and then maybe word of mouth spreads through somebody like a Nick, and more demand grows. So our previous estimations are just fall short in some ways. So
I mean, we're still a very young brand.
Yeah.
So people are discovering us now, but yeah, I mean, again, we try our best.
We try our best.
Yeah.
That's it. Eon? Sorry, hopefully I'm saying that right. If you had to meet more fox fiber demand, would you cut fleeced off to free up material for tees or double heavyweight crews and hoodies? No, I wouldn't do that. I mean, for us, keeping up with fox fiber demand is a little bit more about we have to give the mill advanced estimations on how much we're gonna need.
Yeah.
So we'll say we think we're gonna sell this many hoodies, or we think we're gonna sell this many T-shirts. So they allocate enough cotton for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's a projection of how much we're gonna make, and then that's a long, months and months before we submit a production order, which basically tells them this is how much we need of that fabric, this is how much we need of this fabric, and this is how many units of finished goods we need. That's when we decide on how things are allocated to. So it's not really we need more T-shirts, so we're gonna take from this. That's not exactly how it works, because everything has to be decided in steps. And when you started on the steps, there isn't really a point to go back to it. And especially because we sold out of fleece, French terry, double heavyweight fox fiber, way faster than the T-shirts ever did. Also, so it's one of those things where it's they're both selling, and obviously we make way more T-shirts than the sweatshirts in fox fiber, but we have to balance everything.
Yeah. Anyhow, I think ultimately we just have to produce more, and producing more means we need more space, which is why we're still looking for a space.
Yes.
Last week, literally after the live stream, we went to Harajuku to look at another potential space for us, and it was okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, maybe not perfect for us. Yeah.
I wasn't super excited about it, and a logical part of the brain was well, it's still a space, and it's on paper it's convenient location, very central, the size and the rent and then all things considered, it was good.
Right.
I would even say good.
Yeah.
But I think we're kind of this, we're a two people brand. We get to be a little bit more emotional when we're making decisions. It doesn't necessarily always have to be about logic, I feel. At this stage, I think we thought that maybe we needed a space that is really exciting to us. That we're this is it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we didn't get that immediate, super wow factor to it. I also felt that sort of the crowd, the area is on a sort of a back street of the Harajuku area, a little on the street that we would have been on. It would have been a little bit quieter, but getting there every day and just dealing with the general traffic would have been probably mind-numbing for me every day.
Yeah. It didn't help that we went to see it on a Saturday.
Yeah.
But, like, given that, it's such a, tourist-heavy area, I don't think it would make that much of a difference. Like, when we go there on weekday, it's not like it's, quiet or anything like that. So...
If you've ever seen, I mentioned in the newsletter, but if you've ever seen those videos of, like, guys on, like, the Japanese platforms, like, literally squishing people into the trains, like, that would have been not only our train life every day, but even as you walk down the streets, it's like that. It's like you're just like this. And I think as a tourist, if you're there, to experience it, it's fine. But I think an everyday life like that would have maybe driven me a bit nuts.
And it's just, to me, it's more of like, like the vibe.
Yeah, it needed to be more low key. Like when we looked at like in Ibisu and Nakameguro, the vibe is a lot more chill. These are more chill neighborhoods in Tokyo, and I think we're a little bit more that feeling. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mock says, sounds like a bad time. Yeah. When I would say that like when you're visiting Tokyo, it's very exciting because there's a lot of hustle and bustle. It's like going to Times Square in New York. Like, it's fun for a day, but if that's your life, it might start to,
Well, the thing is, like, getting on a crowded train is going to be the same no matter where we go. If we're on the train at a certain time of the day, like, you are being squished. I think just, to me, like, where you are, I feel like we need to have a little bit of, like, like, air is different, right? Like, in the central part of Harajuku, everything is mishmash. There's high end, there's low end, there's, very different styles of, fashion, and I think it's great. But for us, it was just like, why do we need to be here?
Yeah.
Anyways, it's
we've got more opportunities coming up. Like, we've got a couple of people looking for locations for us, and it's all in the works right now. So
yes, but we're looking for more comfortable for us. Makes sense to us. Kind of more, just exciting spot. Right. And I think it's coming soon because I'm really ramping up my search and like just obsessed from like the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed.
She checks all the real estate listings all day, all the time.
And I do like intense research.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna find it very soon. So stay tuned.
Nicholas says somewhere near Yamashita or Minatomi Rai could be cool.
We thought about that and I started looking. That search, I'm not giving up on that because that what he's talking about is like the Yokohama city part, and like it's old, it's old town. It's not. It's Yokohama is a it's a big city and it has a lot of residential areas, but it also has a very like historical area where like because Yokohama is a port, like, back in the days, like when the Western culture came in, they built like a lot of like really nice, Western looking buildings that are very like, they're fancy looking in that area. And I really like that area because it's got a really nice vibe. And, it's also very convenient too. It's it's not the same city as Tokyo, but the access between those cities are very very convenient. So it would give people who are coming from outside of the country to explore this area too. Like, it's not like, like we're a little bit out of the way. No, it's a whole city where, like, there's a lot to see.
Yeah, there's Chinatown, which is close by, Minatomi Rai, which is another sort of shopping area, but there's there's like an amusement park and everything sort of built in around that area. And there's also this part, which is very nice, and we even considered here as well. So this is like maybe a mall is maybe the right word for it, but there's like a lot of like little mini shops in these areas, and you don't see a lot of like red brick buildings in Japan. It's just not part of the architecture. But because this is sort of the old school original port, a lot of it was sort of Western developed, and so you have a lot of this like old school Western developed looking buildings in Japan, and it's kind of a neat area. And of course, it's in Yokohama, so it's also something we've considered.
Yes.
Yeah.
But to be fair, there's a lot of like I like the area, but it's not actually that much cheaper compared to Tokyo, and there isn't that many options here. It's pretty well developed in a way that, like, there are some cool buildings, but those are like extremely expensive or occupied by like extremely large companies, and there's like a little bit of not so interesting buildings.
Right.
And it's like, why would we be there if the environment isn't correct? So I'm still looking, not giving up on. I like the idea of it. It's just maybe it doesn't seem like there's a ton of option there, but we're still considering.
Right. Raymond Tong says, when you say you're looking for a space, do you mean an actual store or more like a warehouse? It's going to be a little mix of everything. So it'll be a warehouse space, a larger warehouse space, so that we could have more stuff, more products, more inventory, more everything. It'll be a showroom space for our retail partners. When they come to Japan, they can come, they can buy the collection in person, they can see everything, with their hands. A lot of, brands, they have a showroom somewhere. We don't have a showroom anywhere. So that would be something it would operate as, and we would also have it available for you guys. For many of you, you come to Japan and you want to shop for the collection in person, and we don't have our own retail store, so it would act as sort of a an appointment only sort of space. You can come in and you book it, you come, you check out the collection, we'll be there to help you out, that sort of thing. So it wouldn't act as like a
store that like a
store
random
front
person can walk in. Yeah. I think our like decision to keep the warehousing in-house, we want to keep all the inventory, we want to pick the orders, and we want to do everything ourselves. So basically we need the room, but if we were to like have a store like ground floor, visible, accessible kind of thing, then obviously the rents are a little bit higher, significantly higher in some areas, to be on the ground floor and visible. So what we decided was, like, because we want to keep the warehousing to everything in house, so that we would take a little bit accessible still location wise, but not like visible to just random public. Like, we don't necessarily need that exposure. We need the room, and we also don't want to have to pay like a ton of rent.
A street front store is going to be a lot more rent. It's going to cost $100,000 to build out. You got to have staff. It's a whole thing, and I'm not saying it's never going to happen. I'm just saying it's not the direction that I want to go yet. There's still a lot of things on where we're at that need improvement, that we need to focus on and get better at doing that before we start going for like massive expansion growth strategy. So let's we'll get our section of the world sorted out, making sure that we have more inventory, more products, more colors, all that kind of stuff. Make sure that we can deliver it to you in a quick, concise way. And when that's good and set and settled, we can look to doing other things.
Yeah.
But at the very least, by having this space, those of you who do come to Japan, who travel to visit, and you want to shop in person, say hello, you can have an opportunity to do that. And, now we can... I think it's just also a great use of money in that way. We can get a lot out of one space rather than having, a warehouse here, a store over there, and, a showroom office somewhere else. I like being very efficient with our dough. Obviously, it's the more efficient we are, the better we can offer you for prices and things like that. But yeah, it's I would say that we're going against the grain in a lot of ways, because a lot of brands they have their showroom here. They go and do trade shows. They have retail stores everywhere, and I don't know. I see that kind of stuff, and it's just like I don't think it's often like the best use of funds or the most efficient way to do things. And I understand that not everything's gonna be 100% efficient. There's gonna be things here and there that don't work out perfectly, but
I think what we're trying to do, and it is that like because we were able to grow our brand, basically online, like through the message we send out through live streams and videos and all that stuff. So like we and like somebody mentioned earlier that like we tend to sell out of like our popular items very quickly. So like I think our focus now is to cater that community who supports us and found us on the internet and supports us, and that's a priority over like recruiting new customers to just like find us and just be visible to the community who don't know us yet. Right? Like,
there's still a portion of the existing community that haven't had their chance to buy something yet. And I want have frustration not being able to get what they want. Right.
So
let's cater to this audience first before we're like, come new customers, new customers, and like maybe I'm sure there's some business guy watching this who's like, no, you gotta get new customers all the time.
Yeah.
No.
The
people who brought us here, they gotta get dibs.
Right.
So we're gonna work on that first. Here's a good one. JF says, I made a joke earlier about a cashmere heavyweight robes, but would you guys consider making robes, super looper robes, sound like they would be real nice? The answer is yes.
We thought
yeah.
I like the idea of robes, even though I never wear robes at home.
We were in a hotel in Toronto, and they had some nice robes.
They had a sweat shirt, like French Terry robe.
And they wanted like, it was very nice. It was like $300, and they're like, they had the robe in the room, and they're like, if you like this robe, you could take it home with you. It's $300, and I'm like, why would I pay $300 for the room robe? I understand.
Don't know if you get a brand new one.
It says you could take it with you. You just, and I'm like, but why would I? Why? Yeah. I want a new one. Yeah. I don't want the one that.
Yeah.
And
to be fair, like from our perspective, that fabric was not nice enough to pay that much money
not
for.
Not at all. Yeah. So the answer is
we thought about it.
One day. Will. Yeah. So it'll happen. Okay. Somebody said to Andrew, that would be. Oh, Andrew said to JF, that would be an $800 robe. I think if we did it at a super looper, I don't think it would be $800. The thing about robes is like it'll use more fabric, but the complexity of the construction is probably not as many panels or pieces.
And we don't need to have many sizes.
Right.
So that would make it a little bit more efficient.
You basically need there'd be like a small, medium, and a large XL. Something like that.
I think
either like extra small, medium, large, and then
large XL. Yeah. Like basically, the people who would fit in those sizes would be separated into 3 groups.
Yeah. So I don't think it'll be like crazy, stupidly priced. Maybe a similar price point to an existing sweatshirt. Maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I've never made a robe before.
Yeah. And also with the robe, it's more about the length, right? Like, it's not really, because, it's an open thing. You just wrap it around.
Yeah.
If it's too big, you just,
Wrap it more.
Yeah. So I feel like, we could even get away with, like, 2 sizes. Like, under...
Yeah.
5'8", 5'7", and then over that. Or maybe, like, under 5'5", like, women height, and then, over that. Although, I mean, like, if you're 6'3", like, it would be short. But anyways, I don't know. Yeah. We haven't thought about it. It's just,
we haven't thought too much about it, but it's. I think it'll be something that we make at some point.
Yes, part of homeware.
Mox Jose says, would you ever have a version of the hoodies with a dropped shoulder?
We don't have a shoulder seam. We have
raglan sleeves. So sometimes I see hoodies where they'll have like a shoulder seam and then they kind of put it over here.
That's called drop shoulder.
Yeah. So
we don't need that.
Yeah. This achieves the same thing basically, but without the shoulder seam. So, yeah. Okay. Jean-Francois says, thank you so much for caring for us. We don't have a foxfibre tee yet.
Sorry about that.
We'll make sure you get one soon.
Yeah,
spring delivery. We will have more. Melody says, after learning more about foxfibre and the other varieties of other cotton Wonder Looper uses, I would buy a robe and socks. Yes. So, one thing we want to achieve also is socks.
And toques.
Yeah, socks and toques. So, we would use things like foxfibre, Ultimate Pima, or some other, high-end, ultra luxury varieties of cotton, interesting cottons, colors, that kinds of stuff. So, coming.
Yes.
Definitely coming.
It's just like our focus kind of like got consumed by finding real estate at this moment, but I will figure out how to make socks and hats.
So there you go.
Stay tuned.
Jacob says, happy Friday. Do you think you will expand the Ultimate Pima colors?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I will see.
Yeah, I can. Anyhow, I can see us doing, navy or khaki green or like obviously some of the similar colors that we do in the double heavyweight. Maybe the double heavyweight t-shirts are a little too heavy for like the height of summer, and the Ultimate Pima is a little bit more better for that.
Yeah.
So there might be some other colors there to add. Alternatively, like doing more like botanical dyes, So we want to add colors in maybe a few different ways. Natural dyes is one of those ways that we want to achieve that as well. So that's on the roadmap. So you'll see more colors there. And then these aren't like, bright or vibrant colors, but we want to do ringer tees using the foxfibre. So we'll have a couple of different foxfibre shades as the base with contrasting foxfibre ribs on the neck, collar, and hems of the sleeves.
Sleeve openings, yeah. That's more of a spring 2026 project, but we've been thinking about it, and that's the ringer tee with foxfibre. I think is a very achievable, very easy move for us. So
yeah. Stephen Kopelkamp says, I'd be interested in all kinds of natural Henley buttons: bone, tusk, horn, nut. I don't know if we're gonna get so many tusk buttons. I don't know how legal that is.
But
here's a question: is there legal ivory?
I think if it's already been
like if it died naturally.
I don't know about that, but I think if it's like a antique ones are legal.
Aside from antique ones, like if you wanted to, I'm not. You know what? I'm not touching that with a 50-foot pole. How about that?
But also, even if it's like legal, like it has to die like from at the zoo or something, right? Like, it's like.
No, I mean it could die in the wild. And then,
But, like you can't import them.
I don't know.
I think that's the thing.
The answer to that is I don't know, and I'm not gonna find out.
Right, it's gonna be way too much hassle, and we're gonna get attacked also.
Invis Ian says, I believe legal ivory can be sourced from protected animal organizations.
That would be insanely.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, right, and I understand. Like those organizations, maybe they have. I don't know.
Traceability.
Yeah. But like the people who are bought, anyhow, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to find out.
Anyways, we're not finding out, but we have decided on real horn buttons. Yeah. So those are completely legal. Yeah. And it's still relatively accessible, even though it has become like really just kind of dropped down in like availability because nobody's making them, because nobody actually is like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of synthetic alternatives that are
way cheaper
and
very realistic looking, and people don't actually care. So it's still being made, but it's not like it's not. It has dropped in production a lot. So apparently, like there used to be like all the button manufacturers would have that option, and now like only like a couple.
Yeah.
So
it's getting a little more scarce. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe we should buy out all the horn buttons. I would imagine the ones that are still making them will continue to make them because everybody has to
go to them. Yeah. Right. There will be a specialty maker. It's kind of like made in like with the Walda zippers that we have. Like they make those here in Japan like very meticulously. They produce like antique zippers, like the zipper. For some people may not realize this, but the zipper that we use today, at one point, like there was Blu-ray and there was HD DVD and there was Betamax and there was VHS and there was all these other formats, VCD, that all came and died. Some of you may not even realize that they even existed. There was a point in time where the zipper wasn't the standard zipper that we know today. And it's not a standard in the sense that like, DVD or Blu-ray is a literal standard, but a standard in the sense that everybody used the same sort of design, construction, mechanics. There were other designs back in the day, and the company that we use, Waldis, still makes zippers in ways that have never been made like for like 100 years, right? Weird shapes and designs that are just bizarre. They're also prohibitively expensive. Like if we put one of these on a sweatshirt, it'll increase the price of a sweatshirt by like $150. Like that's how incredibly expensive these are. Literally, I think they just make them for the small, like maybe costume enthusiast, somebody who wants to make something literally exactly the same way it was made back then. And, I mean, they don't make big production of this stuff at all. It's just, they probably sell...
But even the zipper that we make...
Yeah.
We use... Sorry. We don't make zippers.
Yeah.
We use... They're very, like, like, so not mass produced that, like, the zipper... If I order one zipper or, like, 200 zippers... It's the same price.
It's the same price,
which is like it's a little ridiculous in this world where like so like the sample of something like 1 and 200 of the same things is the same. Like
in the fastener world, it's always like the more you buy.
In any world, it's usually that. Like especially fabric, especially like like little things like this, but. With our zipper, no.
Yeah. Our zipper costs more than some finished hoodies. Like I've seen hoodies at retail stores in the store finished.
Yes.
In a mall, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And our zipper costs more than the entire finished garment there. Hey, we use really nice zippers. What can I say? But that's just the way it goes. Okay. Nicholas says, exotics leather straps on watches are hard to ship internationally. Ivory would probably be impossible, even if it was ethically and legally sourced.
I would imagine.
I would imagine. I don't want to touch it with I said 50-foot pole. I don't want to touch it with a 100-foot pole. I don't want to go anywhere near that. I would say that in the defense of it, if there is such an organization like one of these animal, wellness, sort of organizations, they take care of the elephants and that, and an elephant sort of dies, and then they use it. I feel bad for those companies because they probably rely on the revenue from that to fund their projects. Right. And, being difficult, would make it so that even if somebody wanted to support them, their efforts and things like that, it would be a challenge, right? So, anyhow.
I don't think there's that much, actual supply, and I'm sure demands are still higher, I would imagine.
Anyways.
I don't know
I don't know.
about it.
I don't want to know. I'm going to leave it. The people who are in that world, I'll let them take care of it. I don't want to be anywhere near it. Mock says, you'd be cursed by the ghost of the elephant. Yeah. What was the elephant in Simpsons? Stampy? I want my elephant.
I don't know.
Thumbs up, everybody, if you remember. Was it Stampy? Am I forgetting it wrong?
You are forgetting it.
But I remember the catchphrase, I want my elephant. So thumbs up if you like elephants.
Okay, I have no context to this.
All right, so. We gotta get you back on those old Simpsons.
Yes, because I at some
half
point
of my life
watched...
references are seasons 1 through 11 of The Simpsons.
Right. At some point in my life, I watched a bunch of those old ones because it was on the that neighbor friend that I was hanging out with all the time. They had it on basically the whole time. But I wasn't paying attention. I actually didn't get a lot of obviously references or the language issues and whatnot, especially back then. So I don't think I got most of the jokes.
No, all right. Well, now you're Eigo Jozu.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're Eigo Jozu.
Eigo no Tatsujin.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Mock says, it was Stampy. LOL. Yes. I got it. My memory's still okay. Oh no. Stephen Kopelkamp says, I actually had my zipper jam. Couldn't fix it myself, so I just had it replaced with a classic YKK. Oh no. Sorry.
The jam will happen. The unfortunate truth about the YKK zipper versus vintage style zipper is that YKK has figured out a lot of things. And very high quality zipper, and it's obviously a massive corporation making mass amounts of things. I think their quality is fantastic. We're not saying the zipper has better quality in terms of the functionality, but we just like the way they make things. Right. We just like the
I love the charm of that zipper. It's a beautiful zipper. I would say pencil eraser does a very good job on the zipper if you need to loosen it up, or even beeswax. Get some of this.
Right. Yeah, just to lubricate the
some beeswax. Get that, put it on some of your metal zippers, and just loop. Even if you have old military jackets or things like that, you put it on the zipper and it'll lubricate it. It'll make sure that stuff glides. It slides and glides very cleanly.
And there are certain incidents. Even YKK zipper is not fully jam proof. If it gets jammed enough in a bad way, then it happens. But,
Gary says, ordering some beeswax now. Canadian Beeseal is great. Yeah, you can get this at Tate and Yoko. Hopefully they have stock. If not, just buy it on the Canadian Beeseal website. Good stuff. You can use it on anything and everything. Yeah.
Okay.
You can eat it. It's just beeswax. Yeah. It says refresh and rejuvenate anything made of leather and wood. Preserve the life while repelling the water. May slightly darken some leather and nubuck. Always test on a small area first. For more info about the uses and ingredients of Beeseal, visit beeseal.ca. I did say you could eat it. I don't know if you can eat it. I think you can eat it.
I'm sure it's not like...
I think it's just beeswax. 100% all natural beeswax.
Does it like
I don't,
taste sweet? Does it taste like honey?
I don't know. I haven't eaten it. Don't eat it. How about that? Adam Blanchard says, put that beautiful zipper in a quarter zip sweater and you can have all my money. Mm-hmm. Wait a minute.
Like
all of it.
All of it?
All of it. Quarter zip. Yeah.
Or half zip.
Yeah.
I like half zip.
Yeah. It'll be on the roadmap.
Yes. One thing at a time.
Yeah.
We're finally getting close to getting the Henleys, which was something that I wanted. Waffle Henleys.
Yeah.
Something that I wanted from before even we started the brand. And
right. Now they're coming.
Now it's coming.
So yeah, that's the first step. Mock says, don't tell people to eat it. Don't eat it. Adam says, eat some. Let's find out. Hold on. Maybe for snack time. You got to stick around till the end. The Raven says, heard from a Naked and Famous blog that Garrett uses it as emergency lip balm. Yeah.
It smells nice too. It smells like lemon.
Yeah, it smells like lemon. Okay. I'm bombing it.
Like what's the bees?
I think it's just beeswax and maybe some lemongrass or something. I don't know.
What is the Burt's Bees?
That's beeswax.
No, I'm sure it's
okay. You know what? I'm going to the Canadian Beeseal website right now, right? So that's
beeseal.ca.
Yeah. So we're going here, beeseal.ca. Let's go to their website. Let's find out, can you indeed eat this? Well known and appreciated by the equestrian community, so you know they're good. If the equestrian community supports them, I support them. 100% natural and organic ingredients, proudly made in Canada. You can get a 1 kilogram tub of this stuff. Holy guacamole. What are the ingredients? Fabricate au Canada. Ingredients. Olive, canola, coconut oils, rehydrating and conditioning and softening. Vitamin A, lemongrass, and tea tree oils, deodorizing and cleaning, provides a smoothing scent. Yeah, lemongrass and tea tree oils. I mean, I don't think it'll hurt you.
Yeah, I don't think it will poison you.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like if it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's non-toxic. I mean, I don't think you're going to get a lot of, you're not going to get any nutrients out of this. But if you need to rehydrate or condition something, it'll be just fine. Got dry skin? I bet you it probably works okay on dry skin. There you go. If it can condition leather, if it can condition a horse hide or a cow hide, it can definitely condition human hide. I'm not a dermatologist. But you should get this stuff anyways because it's wonderful. There's a shoe polish, which I wouldn't recommend eating. I should just. I'm gonna go to another topic. Okay. Anyhow.
Yeah.
Condition your leather and zippers with Canadian Beeseal. Mock says, I bought a bag of beeswax to make lip balm. Well, there you go.
Oh, interesting. You make your own lip balm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Andrew Furasala says, looks like we get 2 snack times today. Trust me, you want to stick around for today's snack time. It's a good one.
And we let you decide today. So you got an option. You got to vote.
Yeah, you got to vote. Okay. Hunter says, is there any chance of making the sweatpants into a jogger? Wearing them now in the snow gets too dirty too easy. Like if you want a elastic bottom.
There is a thought we were just discussing yesterday, I think.
Yeah, yesterday.
It's like, we've thought about having like a optional elastic bottom, meaning that in the leg opening seam we would include like a elastic, like, so, what do you call this? Like like an
elastic kind of draw cord, like, give me that bag there, right?
Yeah.
If we had something like
we put an elastic, like, imagine this is an elastic cord, and we put it something like this, where it's like, okay, like if you don't do anything, it's like a straight opening, but if you just then it would be like a
bunched up
bottom.
Yeah.
It's just like the original concern that I had was that, like, we were making the double heavyweight French terry sweatpant, and like with that material, like having a bunching like that may not look fantastic because it's such a thick fabric. So, but I mean, it's not like we tried it and didn't like it or anything.
We also get, I mean, look, I think some or very many people are happy with the straight bottom. Right. I like the straight bottom personally, but we also hear that people like to have those elastic bottom sweatpants as well. So
so I definitely don't want to take the straight opening option.
Yeah.
But if we can have both, I guess it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. But also if you have to hem it, it becomes a little difficult. I mean, it's just a little bit more work.
I would just move it up.
Yeah.
I hemmed my cargo pants have that, like, the string at the bottom. It's actually not elastic. It's like a cord.
You want to show that?
That I can.
Maybe you need
I gotta show my feet.
No.
So it's like basically this, and I tie it so that it stays, but it actually kind of stays on its own. But
something like this might work.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, with this, like, I hemmed my pants because it was too long for me, and I just moved up this, or like I used I used the same cord.
Okay.
Just like when you do the hemming, I just have to include it before I sew it down. So it's not difficult.
So maybe we'll do a corded bottom. So you get the best of both worlds.
Maybe we'll, play with the sample and see what it looks like in practice. But
okay, there you go. See, this is how things get done.
Let us know your thoughts on that.
Yeah. Mox says, a lot of questions from Mox. Thank you. What kind of snack would you make for the showroom if you could make your own snacks?
I'm not making.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the showroom, we would have, some sort of coffee machine and something. You have a refreshment of some kind. I don't know what we would do.
Imagine if we were to, like, just bake cookies every day.
Snowy and Caterpie-shaped cookies. There you go.
A lot of work.
Yeah. Adam says, ribbed cuff, even better. Yeah, yes for the ribbed cuff. So there's a lot of thoughts here, right?
So that's a completely different
kind of
discussion
jogger,
because it's like we have to give up the straight opening, which we love. So like it will be a different fit, and then would we make Bahzad's personality is that we should make everything in everything, every fit that we offer in every fabric that we offer, which makes it very difficult for us to have 2 fits of sweatpants because that would just be a lot.
That would be a lot. So I want to have 1 sweatpant, and I think if we add this draw cord at the bottom of the sweatpant, we can make a lot of people happy with it. Because if you just want to keep it straight, you don't have to use the cord. In fact, you can pull the cord out and it's straight. If you want it to be tighter at the bottom, which I think would appeal also to the people who want a ribbed bottom, pull it, use the little thing to set it where you want, and you're good.
And I also personally really like the elastic bottom joggers. Like, it's so old school looking, and I like that look more than like the ribbed ribbed bottom.
Right.
Anyways, so maybe we'll play with it. Maybe we'll show you
Yeah.
what we work on.
JF says, I have a pair of Nike sweatpants that have that draw cord situation, so it's not unheard of. Personally, I am a straight leg kind of guy. Right. Yeah, see, I am also a straight leg kind of guy, but I understand. Different strokes for different folks. Will, one of one, says, has anyone asked how you got started in the fashion industry? I would say on a previous live stream.
Yes, we have talked about it. Yeah. The problem with live streams is that it's not a video. You could make videos. But
for those curious, I'm sure some people are interested to know, I fell into the fashion industry, really. I used to actually work in an electronics store, very, very many moons ago. And I was looking for a new job. I actually wanted to work at like Panasonic, like HQ or Sony HQ, like in the just outside of Toronto. A lot of like consumer electronics companies had their head offices, and I wanted to somehow get a job there. And so I was looking for a suit, and I'm like, I need to, if I'm gonna start applying to these companies, which I did. I sent my resumes out. I'm going to need a suit because, I'm going to go for these interviews. I need to look appropriate. And I went on, in Canada, we have a department store called Holt Renfrew. It's kind of like the Neiman Marcus of Canada, something Neiman Marcus.
You used to say Barney's.
I used to say Barney's of Canada, but there's no Barney's anymore. So, I went on their website. They had a career section. I just thought, you know what? Let's throw my hat into the arena. And like 2 days later, they called me for an interview. I went in for the interview. I had the job the next week. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. And Panasonic never called me. Panasonic never called me.
Big loss.
Yeah. So I got my all of my training there. I had some very good managers who taught me about fabric, fit, and of course I learned a lot on the job as well. I worked in a lot of different departments. I worked in denim. I worked in suits. I worked one day they had me working in women's lingerie. That lasted a day.
A lot creepy.
I just nobody wanted to buy a bra from me.
And what can you say about it?
I don't blame you, right? Or I could sell you some Spanx, because they're like, do you have this? Yes, we have it right here, right? And so it was fine. But anyhow, I worked in, for most of my time, I worked in denim, men's denim and ladies' denim. And I learned I learned everything about jeans. And I became just obsessed with jeans. I was a very big jeaner, so to speak. And yeah.
And then you worked for a denim company, and you learned even more about jeans.
That's it. So
you realized you didn't learn everything about jeans.
What I learned was I didn't know nothing. Not nothing. I mean, I knew what I knew, whatever I could patch together from, working on the floor, getting some product knowledge from people who are coming in, whatever I could pick up on the internet. And at the time, there just wasn't a lot of information out there. So, I actually met Brandon from Naked and Famous through working at Holt Renfrew. Before that, when I was working at Holt Renfrew, I managed Diesel shop-in-shops. So Diesel was trying to expand in Canada. They were opening these shop-in-shops in Holt Renfrew. I started in the ladies department, and we had a ladies shop-in-shop there. So then I moved into the downtown Bloor Street location, worked at the shop-in-shop there. So a lot of denim experience. Met Brandon. He took me on Naked and Famous. I was the first employee there. Worked there for 15 years. Risa joined Naked and Famous, but you have your own journey into the fashion industry as well. Mm-hmm. And we met in that journey, got married, started Wonderlooper.
Yes.
Yeah,
our baby.
It's our baby. But yeah, your journey is a little different from mine.
Right. I mean, I didn't accidentally fall into apparel industry. I actually decided that's what I wanted to do in college, and I went in thinking that like I like movies, so I want to like study movies, and then like I realized that that wasn't really what I enjoyed watching movies, but that wasn't really my career path or wanted it to be my career path. So I changed major. I studied fashion merchandising, which is basically business. Just the program is just business, but like only focused on like apparel industry business and stuff like that. And it's like, to be fair, I didn't learn too much about real life, things, but it did get me to, like force me to like do internships, and that actually turned into my first job. And then after that, I moved back to Japan, but I wanted to stay in that same industry, so I got a job. I wasn't looking for a jeans job, but I was looking for somewhere where I could, be in the apparel industry, and I preferred like menswear, so that's what I kind of like focused on, looking for a job like that. And then I found this jean company called Big John, and I didn't actually know anything about jeans per se, but I learned a lot, and it actually really like what got me to stay there was very much of like how like I was fascinated, and that's why I really enjoyed the job. And then I met Bahzad and Brandon, and that was around the time when they really needed somebody else on the team, and basically I did the same job, but just in Japan for another company. So it was a nice bonus that we were dating.
Yeah.
And we got to be together. Yeah. So that's how I moved into the Naked and Famous equation. And then I mean we no longer work for Naked and Famous, but the experience we had with them was very crucial to building Wonder Looper brand. Yeah.
So that's our journey into the fashion world. I mean, a summarized version of it, but yeah, it's been I don't know, it's been over 20 something years for me in fashion apparel world. And I would say that I think having worked like literally every possible job, doing absolutely everything really gives you a perspective on like, I think on how to run and manage a business. And I think that without it, I don't think we could have built what we built. I see a lot of, this is just me going into rant time, and I see a lot of people trying to build a brand, and it's all conceptual based, and this is my concept, this is my vision, and it's like, okay, that's great. But that's like just this much of everything that you need to do. There's like 1,000 other things that need to happen in order to make this the business.
Yeah.
Right?
And the thing is, like, we still, like a fashion business, apparel business is just like really that very much of a different job depending on where you are in that like whole range of things that needs to happen to have a clothing. So it's like, as much as we learn so much about like different parts of the business, we still don't know everything.
Yeah.
Nobody knows everything. Yeah. Everybody has just like their chunk that they focus on, and then expanding that is great. And I think we actually do a lot more different job than a typical person working in this industry, but even with that, like we learn new things every day.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating field.
Right. Yeah, speaking of learning things, we still learn new stuff all the time. 20 something years for myself, you're probably in that range as well.
No. No. 20 years ago, I was still in high school, so.
Okay. Well, you're a little younger than me.
No, but I also didn't like get into the field until,
Right. I didn't go to college or anything, so I was, fresh out of high school worker.
Right.
But, even now, we still learn a lot. And, next week, for example, we have a meeting with our yarn supplier. And I love this guy because, still we learn a lot from him. He's a raw material nerd, the way that we're fabric nerds, right? It's so cool to learn from him because there's just certain aspects. When you talk to a nerd about anything, you learn about all the aspects that the nerds are very interested in, and you're like, whoa, that's really, really cool. And it might be a topic that is just something that you might not even be particularly interested in, but the fact that somebody can speak to you in terms that maybe you can see the excitement in their eyes when they're telling you about the thing that they like.
You have an instant connection,
well, from one nerd to another, you're like, oh, I get it. Okay, this is cool, and I want to learn what makes the nerd excited. So,
but especially if it's something that we are involved in, obviously, it's way more interesting. And so that's coming up. So
and I'm not using the word nerd in a derogatory sense. We're all nerds here. We all love what we love, and this type of stuff. So we're excited to learn. The thing is even in passing conversation, you're going to learn something. So, whatever we collect knowledge-wise, we're going to try and share it with you guys as well. So, I guess that's something we're looking forward to doing next week. But for any of you who are trying to get into the fashion apparel world, my suggestion is start at the bottom. Start at a store. Start at a retail store. Work in the warehouse. Just your experience from, unpacking a box, putting it on the floor, merchandising it, dealing with customers, selling to customers, suggesting items to customers, dealing with customer problems, all of that kind of stuff, I would say as if you're in the realm of I'm a designer. Sorry, I sometimes rag on those kinds of folks. As a designer, sometimes you're so caught up in your concept, of what you're trying to deliver, that you don't understand all that other stuff that is massively important, right? If you can't convey, to the sales staff what is so special about your product, they ain't never gonna sell it. And if they're not gonna sell it, then your dream isn't gonna come true. So you have to find ways to, not just make your concept your reality and be so stringent about it. You have to be able to communicate that with people, and knowing how everything is going to work down the line, I think it is very important. So if you want to get into the fashion world, I've read the comment from Stephen, let's all leave a like, people. Let's all leave a like, people. If you want to start in the fashion world, get a real job in the fashion world, and be interested in other parts. Even if you work for a very small company or a large company, there are people with that you work with that are different, that whose responsibility is different from yours, right? You get to know them, and you can ask all these questions. And the idea is that you're not gonna find your dream job first. You can't make a path thinking oh, I want to do this, so I'm gonna get a job leading to this. Sometimes if you're in the room of it, you figure out, and you don't even know if you want this job. You might end up wanting different parts of the job. So I think it's important to kind of be interested in what other people are doing in that industry, and kind of keep an open mind and curiosity. I think is going to help you a lot. Yeah, and just do everything. If there's even a mundane task, just do it. Learn it.
Do it well. Also.
Yeah, and do it well.
Try to do it well.
Yeah. it's definitely gonna come to your benefit. You might not see it immediately, but I just remember back in the selling suits. My manager, she would say, because we would have this giant wall of shirts. So we'd have this wall of all these folded, beautifully displayed shirts, every color, every pattern. It was all there. And, if we were, it was a Tuesday afternoon, it was kind of slow, nothing's going on, the store's clean, some of us salespeople just kind of standing behind the counter doing nothing. Our manager would come out and she'd be like, show me 3 ties that match that shirt. And you'd be standing there just like, huh? And it kind of felt like a professor, like, questioning a student.
Pop quiz.
And I would struggle sometimes. And she's like, you know what? When you're not doing anything, you should know 3 ties that match every single one of the shirts that we have on that wall. We probably had like 150 shirts on that wall. To be fair, we probably had like, I don't know, our tie table was huge. We had so many ties, it was crazy. And the benefit of that was that when I was selling a suit, not only should I know the suits that we have, which shirts match which suits the best. So I should have that already programmed. So I should say to a customer, here's a suit that you like. Okay, well, here are 3 really beautiful shirts that go with this suit. Right? Maybe they're going to buy 1, maybe they're going to buy 3, maybe they're going to buy none. But at the very least, I should be able to quickly and with confidence present these shirts to that customer. And then beyond that, for every one of those shirts, here are 3 beautiful ties that match with it. And then you can say, well, look, if you get this shirt and this shirt, this tie actually works with both, and they both work with this suit. So look at, you know what I mean? You could do that real quick without hesitation. And that really shows that to your customer, you know what you're talking about. And so being prepared in those times, I just really appreciated a manager that, it felt like, oh, come on. But you would see how it would really work when it came to, I would say, crunch time is when you're dealing with the customer. And, you don't want to be fidgeting and fooling around with the shirts and ties when the customers just be like, what is this guy, what does he even know? Why is it, you know what I mean? Oh, when a customer comes in to buy a suit or any other piece of clothing, they're coming to you for your advice. And if you're not ready with that advice, man, why are they spending that money with you? It's a real shame. And I'm going to say, I don't feel like you get that kind of service very much anymore. I think that the craft of a salesman has really diminished. I would say it's really just, it's not there in a lot of cases. But it went from knowing how to do that to really knowing how to fit somebody for a pair of jeans. And it's not just fitting someone for a pair of jeans, but knowing that, hey, these jeans are not just going to fit you well, but these are the kinds of jeans that I'm going to sell you that aren't going to come back to me in 6 weeks with problems, right? We knew, as on the sales floor, you kind of knew which were the crappy jeans, right? And I didn't want to sell those because there was too much stress. They were over distressed, this and that. You sell them too tight, they're going to rip. It's just this customer service situation that you don't want to create. So when you sell somebody something good that they're going to enjoy, they're going to remember, they're going to come back, they're going to see you. So it's a lot of, you might be able to get that, oh yeah, buy all this new trendy stuff. And it's like 6 weeks later, it's falling apart. Like it's maybe not everybody brings it back, but it definitely creates a problem. So, you try to create customers that have a confidence with you for life by providing to them the things that they want and that they're going to use and enjoy. So, yeah, I remember a lot of those moments on that sales floor and doing little mundane tasks that really ended up being very helpful to me down the line. So, do everything. Hopefully your manager's smart and they tell you to do things that'll actually help you.
Mm-hmm. But it goes a long way if you're actually active asking questions, even if it's not directly going to help your day-to-day job. If you're asking questions, people take notice and maybe you'll be like, oh, are you interested in that field? Maybe you go there. Yeah. That kind of situation. Yeah. So that's our long-winded advice for
Chris says, trying to plan out my Wonder Looper 2025 purchases. Any fall-winter releases that you haven't previewed yet?
Yeah, so we have a bunch that we haven't really shown the final fabric or samples of. For instance, we have not seen our foxfibre waffle fabric, let alone the, like finished sample.
Yeah.
So we're still waiting for that. We still also haven't we previewed the colors of our cashmere blend honeycomb fabrics. We haven't seen the sample in the form of the Henley yet.
There's the Suriyami tea colors in the foxfibre that haven't arrived yet.
Yes.
So there's some new colors in Suriyami foxfibre t-shirts.
New colors in the double heavyweight foxfibre French terry as well. So there was one new color in French terry, the iron mordant foxfibre, and then we have two new colors in the Suriyami tea, which is the lighter foxfibre, like 15 fox 15, plus the iron mordant as well. Yeah. So those
there's a couple still to come. Hopefully we'll have some fabric samples in the next couple of weeks, and physical samples also should start rolling in soon as well. So there's a lot. To look forward to.
We're a little behind on the schedule of things, but we did show the new fabric options last week.
Yeah, we'll show them off again today.
Yeah. But so I have a little update to the indigo, real indigo blanket interior French terry. So this is the front side is real indigo dyed, so it's going to fade as you wear and wash them. And then on the inside, we would have this wool blend blanket style stripes in the back. And the update is that this is a unwashed fabric. And then I did a little bit of a wash test at home laundry test. And actually, it's like, okay, so this one's a little bit more purple.
Yeah.
And once washed, it brings out a little bit more green in the blue. But it actually didn't change as dramatically as I thought.
Let's compare it to the original. So
there's a lot of
there's a lot of indigo stripe going on. So this was the original plan with this sort of brown and navy stripe interior, and this was the indigo, and then this was the once washed. So you can see here that it got from like that purpley indigo to sort of a much more blue color, and with the stripes much more visible. And let's compare that one wash to the one wash. So you can see that the new version is a little bit more blue. It's not as light even after one wash. Now, I'm sure that over time with many, many washes, it's going to get washed down, and you'll see a little bit of a lighter shade of blue. But stripe-wise, it is just not as visible as the original one. So I really do like that feature about this design.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's the same indigo yarn. It's just like the backing makes a big difference in that. And so, obviously, like once washed, like it will change a little bit of a hue of the color, but it will take a long time to like really fade this sweatshirt, I think. But it will be great to see. So yeah, there's a little bit of shrinkage here, but I don't think it's anything that needs to be addressed, I think. So
it's not outside of the typical realm, really. Yeah,
because when it's like really outside of it, we consider like doing a pre-wash. So we'll talk about it a little bit, but I don't think we need that. So.
Yeah. So that's the update on the blanket striped interior real indigo French terry. And for those people maybe didn't see it last week. But these are the new colors of the double heavyweight French terry. So we've got a couple of colors that are going to be retiring, and they're going to be replaced with these new colors coming in the fall. So we've got Dune, Rust, and Sage. So these are going to be replacing red, green, khaki, and ecru. So red, green, khaki, and ecru are going to be gone next season. What will come back is Sumi Black, Navy, and Heather Gray, and then that'll be combined with these three colors. So 3 new options, and then we'll have 3 sort of core color options that will be carried over.
Yeah. So if you're not into earthy colors, we still have, Navy and Heather Gray and even Sumi. But if you are into
earthy tones,
you got a lot to choose from.
Yeah, and then we also will have some double heavyweight foxfibre action that's coming. So the original.
There'll be a lot of different shades of brown.
Yeah. a lot of earth tones coming. John Chan says, love the new earth tone colors, especially that rust.
Yeah,
Nicholas says he loves the sage.
Really nice.
Yeah, the rust is beautiful. So there's a lot of great options here. I think you'll be very happy with any of these. If you have a rugged wardrobe, then these are colors that are certainly going to fit in quite nicely.
I've started just wondering which color I'm gonna get.
Right. So
It's a difficult choice.
Guys, which color should Risa get?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Let me know.
Let us know. So those are the 3 new colors. Is there something else I'm forgetting? I don't think so. Oh, you know what? We should talk about Super Looper.
Yes.
We should talk about Super Looper.
Upcoming release. The most. Yeah. These are all like
fall.
Yeah. More than 6 months away.
Yeah, but Super Looper is going to be coming out very soon. The Super Looper French Terry Suriyami Knit is going to be coming out on February the 13th at 10 a.m. Eastern. So 10 a.m. Eastern, Thursday, February the 13th. I announced it in the newsletter today. If you didn't read it yet, you didn't know about it. I didn't put it on the Instagram yet. I'm telling you guys live here. So it's not super general public knowledge yet, but general enough. So you can look forward to that. If you head over to wunderlooper.com, you can see arriving Thursday, February 13th at 10 a.m. Eastern, Super Looper French Terry coming very soon. Discover the collection. We've got all the pictures up here on the website, so you can see what is currently available. There's a couple of greens, I think. Oh yeah, just XL. Whatever's left, there's not much of. And the new colors that will be coming out very soon.
There's one pretty.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's it. If you like the old ones, the green and the red, you can, if they're your size, and go ahead and grab them. But these are the new colors are coming out on the 13th. Now, I just want to do a quick comparison of the last season's blue and the new season's blue, which we should have right here.
Yeah. Just to quickly answer Nicholas's question, that will be midnight on the 14th. So like the 13th to the 14th midnight.
Yeah.
Between those 2 days.
So this is the Spring Summer 25 blue, and this is the Spring Summer 24 blue. So the last season's one is a little bit more vibrant in tone, and this one is a little bit more muted down. So you can see here different shades. I mean, if you have this from last year, maybe you don't need this one unless you're really into blue hoodies, but they're very similar in that respect. So
like, especially when you see it like separate, it's got the similar vibes, but obviously when you put next to each other, it's very different colors.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
anyways, so it's that's a good color. I think a lot of people are excited about marigold, which is a little bit of a surprise. I'm super excited about burgundy, even though I got the Sumi because we didn't have burgundy in my size in this fit. But burgundy is a great color.
Yeah. My prediction is that Sumi and gray are still going to be, well, gray is going to be the number one seller,
I think Sumi's going to be the number one seller.
Sumi might become the number one seller.
And then
I think it'll go burgundy. Marigold is going to sell fast because there's not a lot.
As many, yeah.
But the people who want it are the one. They know that they're gonna grab them. So this is, I think, gonna go fast. And then, yeah, burgundy and blue will sell well. I don't think there's gonna be any lame ducks in this collection. I would just say that, like, had we made as many marigolds as maybe gray or black, it maybe wouldn't have been as wouldn't sell as many total.
Yeah.
But I think the people who like it are gonna really like it.
Yes.
Yeah. I just wanted, like, for me, really, I just wanted that color.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just make stuff because we want to make it, but I know that there's a lot of people, because they're vocal. They love, they know that it's not a conventional hoodie color, so they're very excited for it. But yeah, Kay says, I want marigold setting my calendar reminder now. Well, thank you very much. Mock says, marigold better something. Better lay? I'm not sure. I love it. Well, I'm glad that you like it. Nicholas says, do you think a zip-up black and medium will sell quickly, or should I be okay waiting 6 hours until I wake up?
I can't tell you this, but I think it will be okay. We made a lot of black, and also, like, another thing is that, like, a lot of, most of our retail partners have, not everything obviously, but, like, a lot of them have, bought Sumi, so it's not like a hard color to get.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously you're in Japan, you probably want to buy from Japan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Stay up.
Or like it's midnight, so it's like maybe you can ask somebody to do it if you I understand if you're getting up at 6 a.m. you don't want to stay up, but
Hunter says, since Super Looper is like a towel inside, do you prefer wearing them without a t-shirt under it? I would still wear a t-shirt under it.
Yeah, I've never worn this without a t-shirt.
Yeah. I mean, if you went to the beach and you were just like, you coming in and out of the water, throwing it on and off, then I think it's fine. But on a regular, not, if you're wearing it just like you would wear any other hoodie, I would definitely recommend you wear it with a t-shirt.
But it's not gonna hurt you.
It will not hurt you. Yeah, there's no chance of you being hurt by it. OG Tax says, is the upcoming double heavyweight long sleeve drop only one? The only one for the year on those? Same question for the ELS recycled tee. Okay, the double heavyweight long sleeve tees that are dropping this spring, so that's going to be black, white, and heather gray. It won't be the only time, so that'll be the only time this spring, and then we'll restock them in the fall, and then in the fall you're also going to have Sumi Black and Ecru back. So Sumi Black and Ecru came out last fall.
Yeah.
They were an exclusive for Cultism and us. And now they're going to be more of a general release available to all of our retail partners. But, of course, you'll be able to get it back on our website. So there will be 5 long sleeves next fall.
Yeah. So it's not going to be the only launch. But ELS, Recycled Cotton Slub T-shirts, they are... So we're launching everything in the spring. Ecru, white, black, and heather gray. And... So a little bit of a hiccup with the fabric. So our heather gray launch would be split in 2. So there's going to be like, we have a little bit less quantity than we planned for at the initial launch in heather gray. And then the heather gray would be replenished later, maybe like a month or 2 later. So the heather gray is just a weird situation. But other than that, we have no particular timeline for the restock. It might just be a spring release items
Yeah.
because as you know, we use the offcut of our double heavyweight t-shirts production, and the thing about that is that like we can't really
You need to make enough double heavyweight t-shirts that there's enough offcuts to make the...
and the thing is like because it's offcuts recycling, it cannot, you know, it can't be like the percentage of that is you know as high as we can make it, but it's not like, you know, full. And even with that, we have, you know, like in order to make, you know, heather gray, for instance, we need to mix in a certain amount of black and a certain amount of white and all that. Like, there's a lot of limitation with recycling fabric and making yarns from recycled fabrics like that. So it's hard for us to say right now how many we can make. Even if we could replenish in the fall, I'm not sure if that's enough for it to be like a full restock. So we're not committing anything to it. I think it's realistic that we can do, you know, once a year, like a full restock, but twice a year, I'm not sure.
Yeah, the ELS tees, as special as they are very reliant on our offcuts availability. So, you know, it's not something that we could mass produce.
Yeah, but another thing is like we're making the yarns from that, so it's not like, oh, we're gonna make it all in one shot. No, like they have to make different colored yarns like differently, so at different times too. So like it's not like, you know, we don't have enough per se. Like obviously we're making a lot of double heavyweight t-shirts, but again, like recycling, and you have to have a certain amount, and then like you got to do that, and then, you know, one color at one shot and stuff like that. So it's very complicated. I still don't know the full picture of what the capacity of even recycling those things and turning into, you know, custom yarns and stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll keep you posted, but we're not going to promise any kind of like restock for that as of now.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, it just cannot be restocked as often as like a double heavyweight t-shirt or even some of the other t-shirts that we make.
That's true.
Mox says, will embroidery be done at the physical location? Like if I came in with a clean pre-purchased item, like at our showroom, we will have some sort of embroidery situation set up. Though we're not going to embroider not Wonder Looper stuff. So bring your Wonder Looper stuff.
Yeah, we'll figure that part out. You know, if you make an appointment, and we should be able to handle that. But
right. Yeah. Devin Hurt says, will there be an April Fool's Day joke release of Wonder Looper's World's Thinnest hoodie? I think we'll just have an Emperor's New Clothes kind of situation where, no, I'm just making it up. But if we can make a hoodie that's just like the stitching and there's nothing else, and we call it the World's Thinnest hoodie, that could be something. I don't know how we photograph it. We have it worn, have it on a model. Like, yeah, it's the airiest. You know, you have to believe it exists for it to exist, and we'll just, yeah.
I thought you meant something more along the lines of Bahzad special.
No, you're not allowed to talk about that.
I see.
Brenton Henry says, sounds like high fashion. Yeah, high fashion is really dependent on you believing in it. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Oh, I saw something the other day, and you know who it was? It was Shane from New York City, Naked Famous Den in New York City store. He put on his Instagram. It was 100% baby cashmere socks.
Oh yes.
100% baby cashmere socks. Audience, please tell me, what do you think 100% baby cashmere socks retail for? I'll give you a few minutes in the chat. I just want to know what you think they retail for. And yeah, this is my just beautiful opinions of high fashion. Stephen Cole,
I don't even know if it was a high fashion brand.
It was.
It was?
Yeah. Not going to say the brand, but anyhow, it's one of my favorite things. Okay, so we got a couple of guesses in here. Okay, we got Stephen Colbacam with 500 Enter something $360. Michael says $250. Hunter says $1,000. Brenton $2,000. John Chan $40. Raven $1,000. BD $1,300. 50,000, close. High fashion, that is going to be 3,000 to 5,000. Okay, so we're getting a couple of like, okay, here's what I would say realistically think, and then there's like people just shooting numbers, throwing big numbers out there. Well, the answer was $1,700 for one pair of baby cashmere socks. Now, baby cashmere socks, you know, just a regular sock. Not a lot of cashmere there. Beautiful sock. But come on, guys. $1,700. When I say, like, the real luxury world is our realm, you know, the maker brands, I'm not lying. Our prices are not, we're not the mall, okay? But our prices aren't in insane land, okay? We really deliver a lot of quality for the best possible price. Whether it's us, a lot of the people in the boot world, the leather jacket world, there's a lot of people in our realm. You know, if you follow a Karl Morawski or Iron Snail or Stridewise, we talk about, I don't talk a lot about these brands, but they talk a lot about these brands all the time. In our realm, that's where you're going to get the maximum quality for price performance. There's no quality price performance in that realm. Zero. You get
negative.
Yeah, you definitely may. At the very least, you may get some status points. You might. Maybe someone is going to think you're cool because your sweatshirt is adorned with all kinds of very visible and loud logos. That might get you some cool points somewhere. Not with me, but somewhere. Maybe you don't want my points. It's okay. My points are valueless to you. But for the, like, just the insult of the socks costing that much money. It's like, there's not even a logo on it. Like, what do you, like, there's no status that you get from it. And in terms of quality, yeah, it's a high quality item, but you can certainly, like, the margin markup on that is insane land. And like,
and it's like, I don't even know if they're trying to sell it. Like, even the richest of the rich, like,
you can't be that, they're rich. Like, they didn't get that rich because they're stupid. Right?
Well, I mean, some people.
No. You can't get to. I can afford $1,700 socks on a whim. Don't care. This is nothing to me, and be that stupid. I refuse to want to live in that world.
You're born into it, like.
But you can't be that dumb. Like your parents would have sent you to some kind of school, right? They would have. Like, I'm sure there are just G-bags in that world, but like, are they the ones who are like, oh, these cashmere socks for $1,700? That's the way to go, right?
Yeah. I cannot imagine them selling even one pair. Like, that's maybe as a joke, or maybe
when they're 50% off, they're still laughing at you.
That's
right?
true. That's true. When they become like 50, 60% off, they're still making a ton of money on it, and you feel like you saved a ton of money buying it. So I guess it's a win-win. I could see that happening if something is, I guess $850 from, $1,700. It was like, wow, that's a good deal.
Insane. Hunter writes, I would rather buy the triple heavyweight, which gives me more warmth.
And a fraction of...
Yeah. I mean, they're not socks, but all I can say is when we make socks, they won't cost that. They will. Yeah. Look, they're going to be nice socks, okay? Yeah. I'm not competing with, Walmart or Costco for sock prices, okay?
No. But we could even make 100% baby cashmere socks made in Japan for a fraction of that price.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll be very expensive socks. For a socks, they will be very expensive. But they will not be anywhere near the $1,700 USD price point. Insane. I was just like, I couldn't even. I was laughing when I saw that. Mm-hmm. That was jovial moment of the week. I was just so like thrilled by seeing that. It just made me laugh so hard. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it helps us because we're trying to make 100% baby cashmere, tsuriyami, French terry sweatshirts, and it's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
But at least we can be like,
hey, you could buy our sweatshirt, or you could buy
a
pair of socks. To be fair, they're going to cost more than the socks. Our sweatshirt is going to cost more than the socks, as you would expect the sweatshirt to cost more than socks. But it won't cost that much more than those socks.
Well, ratio-wise,
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
But another thing is like, so the unfortunate truth about, we talked about this, is about sweatshirts and hoodies and stuff like that, is that it's cut and sew. So there will be like, the yarns are extremely expensive per weight. But unfortunately, there's no way around wasting some of it.
Yeah.
So that's also part of it. Whereas like socks, you knit them into a shape, so it's like a sweater. It's not like
100% of the material.
Like
is used. So anyhow, it's great. It's just great. Thank you. Every time I see the prices in this realm, it makes me so happy. And so baby cashmere updates, hopefully we'll have some soon. Hopefully we'll have a sample soon, and we can show you guys what real luxury looks like. Real true luxury looks like. And it will be pricey, but it won't be, for what it is, it won't be insane.
I think we should like record you putting the sample on for the first time.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Just like a genuine reaction. I mean, obviously we've touched the fabric and stuff, but like putting it on your body, I think it would be fantastic.
Okay, we'll get a live reaction, a first-hand reaction when we get that in. Okay, guys, we're getting to that time.
Oh, wow.
And so I would like to ask you guys, before we get into it, to hit that like button just for us. Just for us. Maybe do it for yourself as well. It might make you feel good if you hit that like button. Let's get those likes up into the sky if you like the kind of content that we produce here for you here on the Wonder Looper live stream, the greatest live stream in the history of all live streams. And we've got a special snack time for you today. We've got two choices, and we're gonna leave it up to the audience here because they're very interesting. And of course, we love eating chips, so we have to find the most unusual chips that Japan has to provide. And what do we have right here, Risa?
This is lemon milk flavored chips.
So,
potato chips.
Lemon milk. So on the back here, you can see there is like there's strawberry milk, chocolate milk. Well, in Japan, there is a brand of lemon milk, which is actually quite tasty. But they've decided that they are getting into the potato chip game with lemon milk flavored potato chips. And now, I saw this bag, and I felt like we might have tried this before. I don't remember. Maybe I'm misremembering it because I've had the milk. I've had other snacks made by this company. I don't know if I've had these chips before. But in case we have, or maybe you remember, we also have this.
Strawberry potato chips made from Skyberry, registered trademark, Skyberry variety of strawberry. So these are both from Tochigi Prefecture. So like Tochigi makes a very nice brand, like what do you call variety of strawberry called Skyberry. Delicious strawberries, and also make lemon. So I guess they were trying different things with that. There.
Brenton says, "How do you milk a lemon?" You need very small hands, and I think they use tweezers, and they're just very carefully drawing the milk out from the lemon. But really, it's like it's like drinking chocolate, not strawberry milk. It's kind of sweet It's not so sour. I remember seeing this for the first time and thinking, what a ridiculous concept. Why would you want sour milk? It really just tastes like candy, right? It tastes like a lemon milkshake. I mean, lemon milkshake. It is like
a lemon ice cream.
Yeah. Like a lemon ice cream. So that's what this tastes like. Definitely weird.
But on potato chips, it will be even weirder.
Yeah.
Obviously strawberry salt, it says. So strawberry and salty potato chips. That's also going to be weird.
Yeah.
So what's the vote like?
All right. So guys, throw your votes in. It does sound like lemon. A lot of people are enjoying this lemon, but we'll give it another second here. We were at this shop and they had a lot of interesting products. We saw eel cola.
Yes.
Eel flavored cola. I didn't buy it. I
think it would be disgusting.
But I put it on my Instagram. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, just look me up. I put it on my Instagram on like a story, so maybe it's gone by now. So people saw it, they reacted to it. They had eel flavored cola. I don't think I could bring myself to trying that. We did try the
beef tongue.
Barbecued beef tongue flavored soda. So sometimes Japan makes weird flavors for the sake of weird flavors. And like eel cola is definitely in that realm. I'm not an unagi guy. I don't like eel so much. Some people really love it.
I don't like eel either. And
you don't like cola. So it'll be a double.
That's true.
Double terribleness. And it's for sure just going to be terrible for terrible sake.
Yeah.
But we might have to try it one day. I don't know. I don't know if I can bring myself up to it. I'm not sure. But today, it looks like we're doing lemon.
Yeah. Okay,
lemon
milk.
milk.
I like the packaging a lot. It's very nice classic packaging. All right. So, lemon milk potato chip.
Use your muscles.
I have some.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, it smells like regular potato chips with a hint of lemon.
Yeah. I would say that if you didn't know, you might think that these are just regular salted potato chips.
Yes, it's a very faint lemon. I mean, obviously a lot of potato chips have that a little bit of acidic, like a little bit of tangy flavor, especially with vinegar.
Okay. They are definitely not heavily coated with anything.
Yeah. Looks like a high quality chips, like a real potato kind of feel.
Ridged for your comfort. Okay, let's give these a try. Tastes like candy. It's not very strong though.
Wow. Okay.
It's not very strong.
I taste lemon milk.
I taste the lemon milk. I taste it. It tastes like the drink, and the drink tastes like candy.
I think it's more like, you know how you taste it with your tongue and taste it with your nose and the mouth. I taste it more with my nose.
It tastes like a milk candy. You know, there's little milky hard candies with the lemon flavor.
And then it really ends with the potato flavor though, a very strong potato flavor.
It's really not. It's not bad. It's not my favorite chip in the world, but
I
it's
feel like we should just put out potato chips without saying anything to other people. It's they'll have it, and I think that would be funny.
Right, because they're gonna think they're like, what is this? When you taste this, you're like, what is this? You're not exactly sure. You know because you know the flavor.
Right.
But
if it's a blind test, I wouldn't be able to point it out. But definitely when you put it in your mouth, it's like you expect a little bit of saltiness right off the bat, and that doesn't exist. Instead, there's
you get
just
the sweetness first.
A mildness of something.
Yeah.
And then you kind of smell the candy lemon kind of note.
Okay.
Oh, this is weird. It's not bad, but it's not something I would crave either.
Right, like I'm not reaching for this every time, and I think the only time I would enjoy this is with you guys as a taste test.
Yeah.
You know, like if this was on the grocery store shelf, which it wasn't like a typical grocery store, but I don't think I'd be reaching for this. This is the kind of thing that you bring back.
Yeah, and try it, have fun.
Yeah. Right.
It
good
does,
souvenir.
Yeah. And it does taste very different from regular potato chips, so it's worth a try. And it's not disgusting. So I think it's worth a try, but it's not like a must-have flavor or something.
On the flavor scale,
it's hard to rate this.
It's hard to rate. I'm going 6.2.
I was thinking 6.2, 6.1.
Yeah.
I think so because it's not gross.
Yeah, it's not fair. For me, a 5 is like, if it's in 5 zone, it's not great. It's not good.
Like if it's disgusting, it goes below 5, and above 5, it's kind of like above 5.
Yeah, it's acceptable.
Yeah. It's like it's not great. This one is like it's not great, but it's not bad at all. Like there's no even a single badness in here. So
7 is good, like really good.
So like
7 is good, 8 is really good, 9 is god level.
We're on the same page.
Yeah.
So 6.2, 6.1 I think is a correct area.
Right. Okay. So there you have it, guys. When you come to Japan, you will not find this in a grocery store. Where you will find this is mostly, I would say, at big train stations. Anywhere where they're selling souvenir stuff. That's probably where you're going to find this. We bought this at a store in Akihabara that specializes in regional specialties. Mm-hmm. So they have like a little section for all the different regions of Japan and whatever. And the thing about Japan is like every region is kind of known for something. And this had, all the stuff from this region, and it included these chips. So we got those there.
Yeah.
We should make it. One day when we have the store, come to our store, and then we'll have like an article on like here's some cool places to visit. And we'll make a guide.
Neighborhood kind of thing.
Yeah, or just in Tokyo, Japan, Yokohama area in general. So anyhow, there you go, everybody. Some snack time. We'll save strawberry for next week.
All right.
So you can look forward to that. Nerd Violence says, when you have a physical store, you should offer random snacks to people who make appointments.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Nice.
I think live snack time will be part of the store somehow. We got to make it. Yeah. Come enjoy. We'll have some snacks. There was one of the showrooms that we had. They had like a nice like kitchen and a freezer. I was really looking forward to stocking it with drinks and all kinds of fun things. Anyhow, we look forward to making the store a great experience for you guys.
Definitely.
So anyway, keep your fingers crossed for us. We're working on it. Okay. Guys, we're going to leave it there. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to another live stream with us. We'll be back again next week, 7 p.m. Eastern, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. If you have any comments. What question did we ask? Oh, the joggers. Was it joggers?
Yeah, joggers.
Yeah. Well, we want to hear some feedback, so let us know.
Yeah.
Comment, and we'll talk about it next week.
That's it. Do something nice for yourselves and do something nice for somebody else. We'll see you guys again real soon. Have a great one, everyone. All right. Bye-bye.